Kerala, India. He is a doctorate in Bhagavad Gita and renowned spiritual teacher. He is a custodian of a 500-year-old Krishna temple in Tiruvalla. Conducted hundreds of week-long transformative spiritual sessions across India. Host of Bhagavatam. And he is the disciple of His Holiness Jagat Swami Maharaj. So, Lord Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Thank you so much. And today's topic is Anarthas, getting rid of Anarthas, gross and subtle, through Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Radha Natavar Krishna ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamutiraye. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Everybody together. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. My humble pranams to all the assembled devotees. So today's topic is about offense, aparadha. So there are two things explained in Shastras. One is sin, papa, and the second is offense, aparadha. There are two things. Sin can be easily cleared off. Like every day we have tulsi plant and we go around tulsi, we chant Yani Kani Chapapani Brahma Hatyadi Kani Cha Tani Tani Pranashyanti Pradakshine Pade Pade. Any kind of sin, even up to the level of killing a Brahmana, killing our own mother, these are like higher level of sins. Brahmahatya. If you kill a Brahmana, you get Brahmahatya dosha. These are like very, very high level of sin. Even that kind of sin can be mitigated, can be cleared by going around Tulsi. Sin falls in a different category. We generally don't have the right to hurt anyone in this world. By our words, by our deeds, we can't hurt people. How many of you have done that in life? Hurting others. Thank you very much for being honest. Garuda Puran says, if we hurt people, for one janma we have to take birth as snake. Snake is one living entity which doesn't get along with, you can't see snake in groups. You can see cows in herds, birds flock together, humans live together, even ants crawl together, right? Every living entity you can see them in herds and group and things like that. Have you ever seen 10 snakes crawling together? Have you ever seen? So snakes don't get along with, even with one other snake. They are highly envious. Even two snakes cannot get along together. So Garuda Puran very beautifully says, Purva Janma Kritam Papam Vyadi Rupena Jayate. Whatever we do in our previous thing, it comes. So if we hurt people, then we have to, for one Janma, we have to take birth as snakes. You have seen the snake's tongue? Yeah, it has got a split tongue, It's like scissor. Some people have this art of hurting people by every statement. Whatever they speak, they land up in hurting people. Right? And we find many of them in ISKCON also. They keep hurting people. We can't do that. There's a beautiful example in Purana. One day, a king was doing, Anartha. He was distributing free food on his birthday, which is a great thing. He was distributing free food on his birthday, a very, very great activity. And there are so many people standing in queue, including, Brahmins, sadhu, brahmanas, saintly people. Very respectfully, they were taking their food packets, they were taking. At that time, an eagle was carrying a snake by its claw. The snake is going to be eagle's prey now. It just caught the prey. And the snake is so scared. Oh, eagle is carrying me, I'm going to die any moment, this guy will eat me. Out of fear, the snake spat poison. And the poison came and fell in that free food pot. King did not realize. He distributed the free food to one Brahmana. Brahmana ate, dead. He died. Now Yamaraj is in a big confusion. One Brahmana died. On whose account can I write the sin? The king was unaware because he was genuinely doing a nice thing. He was not aware, and the Brahmana was not aware. There are four people involved. Who is the real sinner? Snake, eagle, Brahmana, or the king? Who made the mistake? Huh? No one, but there's a Brahmana did someone. Somebody's account it has to be added, right? A Brahmana is lying down dead. It's not a normal thing.
Brahmana's own karma. Brahmana's own karma.
Yeah, because he's dead. No, he will not put it on his head. So Brahmana is dead and 4 people are involved. And Yamaraj doesn't know what to do. God of death is confused on whose name I will tally this upon. He was breaking his head. At that time, a stranger was entering the kingdom. So he asked someone was sitting there, an elderly lady. He asked that lady, how can I go? Can you show me the pathway to the king's palace? How can I reach there? And the lady said, oh, the king who gave poison and killed the Brahmana, you go in this direction. Yamaraj wrote in his head, on top, added in her list, because he was so confused on whose list I will add this, and this lady passed a comment, so added in her name, right? So we have to be very careful with what we speak. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. Even though you are speaking truth, the truth should be spoken in a very nice, palatable way. Because this karma is so confusing, many times truth becomes false and false becomes truth. For example, my grandfather is lying on the deathbed. My grandfather is there. And the doctor said, hardly 1 or 2 days. He will leave his body at any time. You can make necessary things, paperwork, everything. Maybe 1 or 2 days, he will leave his body. So you enter the room. You go to meet your grandfather. And he is asking you, what did the doctor say? What you will say? Acha, only 48 hours you have got? Will you say that? No, what you will say? Everything is going to be fine, we are going back home, right? So in that situation, false becomes truth. Yes or no? We cannot go and say the truth in front of him. False becomes the truth. This karma is so complicated. It's very difficult to understand karma. So, what we should do, we should be very careful with what we talk. Do you pronounce one wrong word and someone gets hurt, as per Garuda Purana, in the court of Yama, god of death, we have to eat 1,000 leeches. The leech, you don't know the leech? Yeah, you know the leech, right? How many of them? 1,000. Garuda Purana says, Purva Janma Kritam Papam Vyadhi Rupena Jayate. And some people have learned this art of hurting everyone under the sun. Whatever they speak, they keep hurting people. So in the court, 1,000 leech, even jokes. We have to be extremely careful with jokes. Now let us give you a workshop session. Can any one of you say a joke? And in that joke, you should not hurt anybody, hurt anything, degrade anyone, degrade anything, belittle somebody or something. Can you spell a positive joke?
What about joking on ourselves?
Still you are putting yourself down, right? Positive joke without putting anyone down, belittling somebody or something. Can you tell us positive joke? Very difficult. Yes or no? We couldn't get even one. Right? So jokes means it's always we are putting something down. Right? So we have to be very careful. If you lose that line, we will end up in hurting people. one day, Krishna and Rukmini, they were playing dice. Krishna and Rukmini were playing dice, and Krishna said, Rukmini, you remember that olden day you wanted to marry me, and in front of so many kings and princes, I came single-handedly and I took you away. You remember those days? So Rukmini was remembering her days, younger days, where Krishna, you all know that Krishna kidnapped Rukmini, right, and married in front of thousands and thousands of people. Krishna kidnapped Rukmini and married her. So Krishna is speaking that, and suddenly Krishna changed the whole topic. Rukmini, how can a person like you cheat your parents and run away with a stranger whom you don't know? Is that fair from your part? You ran away with me. How much pain you would have given to your parents and brothers, and Krishna is going on and Rukmini is standing there and literally full of tears. She's crying and she wanted Krishna to stop the topic, and he's not stopping. He's going on with the topic. And at that moment, Narada came. He came in a wrong time. Narada came. So Krishna asked, hey, oh great sage Narada, you tell me, was Rukmini right or wrong? Narada was in a fix now. What he will say? You tell me, was Rukmini right or wrong? So Narada quoted a beautiful sloka. A guru can find fault with a disciple. Yamaraj can find fault with everyone. Husband can taunt a wife. Who am I? And he just walked away. He just left the place. So we should be very careful. In this universe, only Guru and Yamaraj can find fault with people. Who can find fault with people? Guru can find fault with the disciple, because that's Guru's job, to train the disciple, correct him. And who else can find a fault? Yamaraj, because he's the judge for the entire universe, he can find fault. All others who find fault with someone else should be ready to eat leeches. We are supposed to eat leeches. So this is very important. We can't do that, hurt people. Ramayana beautifully says how Sita could get separated from Ram for 8 months. Their vanvas, their thing was 14 years in jungle. 13 years they lived happily in Panchavati, Nasik, so many places. And 14th year, Ravana kidnapped Mother Sita. How was that possible? Nobody can separate Sita from Ram. And how was that Ravana easily took away Sita? Ramayana says, when Lord Ramachandra went in search of that deer, golden deer, Maricha, Ram did not come. And from the jungle, Sita heard the scream of Ram that Sita, Lakshmana, save me. When Sita heard this, she panicked. Actually, that was not Ram's scream. Who screamed? Maricha, the golden deer screamed in the voice of Ram. But Sita believed that was Ram's sound. Then Lakshmana said, oh Devi, Sita, don't worry. There is no energy in the 14 planetary system which can defeat Ram. Be calm. So Sita remained calm. Then after some time, again at the peak of his voice, Maricha screamed, in Ram's voice, Lakshmana, Sita, Abhayam, save me, save me, save me. This time Sita lost her control. She thought something has happened to Ram. She urged Lakshmana, Lakshmana, what are you waiting for? You just go, somehow save your brother and bring him back. Lakshmana was very cold. He said, I know Ram. There is no energy in this world which can check Ram, which can stop Ram. But Sita, out of tension, she said, now I understand you, Lakshmana. I thought you were a very nice person, but you are not. I can read your intention. You want Ram to be dead in the jungle so that you can marry me? That will never happen. When Sita spelled this out, that was like hot iron poking Lakshmana's heart. Even in the wildest of his dreams, he has never thought about it. How could Sita speak like this? And Lakshmana just walked away. That tiny offense, who did? Sita separated Sita from Ram. The moment I heard a devotee, Lord just walks out of our heart. For one offense, 1 year separation. You know, and we are told PhD in committing offenses. Left, right, center, One offense Sita did, she was forced to get separated from Ram for 1 year. So, Papa can be mitigated. What cannot be mitigated? Offense cannot be mitigated. Sometimes we do something jokingly, Another instance, the story of Ramayana, where Ram promised Sugriva that I will help you. You know that story, right? I will help you. The two monkey brothers, Bali and Sugriva. So Ram has promised Sugriva, I will help you. Then what happened? Sugriva went and invited Bali for that quarrel, that single combat, and he was fighting. And Ram did not save Sugriva. And Sugriva knew very well that he is nothing in front of Bali. Bali is such a powerful soldier. And whoever stands in front of Bali, 50% goes to that fellow. And Sugriva, believing that Ram will help him, Lord will help him, he went and declared, Are Bali, who are you? That day, that was, you got a luck, you want. Today, if you are this thing, you dare, you come. Bali thought, what happened to this puny guy? He jumped, and both of them were fighting shoulder to shoulder, fist to fist. Not a single blow of Bali missed. Everything Sugriva got. And he's turning other, Ram is not helping me. Ram has disappeared. There's no Bhagavan at all. Then he was bleeding, his limbs were broken, and Sugriva ran away and said, Prabhu Ramji, that's not at all fair what you did. I was completely beaten up. Why you did not save me? Then Ram said, you both are twins, Bali and Sugriva. I couldn't make out who is Bali and who is Sugriva. When this conversation happened, all the great acharyas closed Ramayana. We are not reading Ramayana anymore. What? We sleep and chant Hare Krishna. At the end of the life, Krishna comes and says, sorry, I couldn't identify you. We are struggling doing japa, we are struggling everything, Right? If Krishna comes and says, sorry, I got a little confused, I couldn't identify. Barbad ho jayega. Complete vinash, right? You know why that happened? Why Sugriva did not get help? Then Ram and Lakshman came to meet Sugriva for the first time. Sugriva became so happy to see Ram. Invited Ram, gave him a place to sit, fed him, gave him water, gave him fruits, everything, gave a garland, spoke nicely, everything. But he did not attend Lakshman. Sugriva was busy receiving whom? Ram. He did not receive Ram noted. Even Lakshmana was not aware of it. Ram noted it. Then Ram allowed, chalo, get one beating. So he got everything. Then Ram said, I am very sorry. No, I could not identify you. So I could not identify you. Lakshmana, you do one thing. Tomorrow, Sugriva, you go and invite Bali once again for the combat. Sugriva said, thank you very much, I am not going. No, he said, no, you go. But Lakshmana, you do one thing. You put a garland on Sugriva's neck so that I can identify. So when Lakshmana dropped the garland around Sugriva's neck, he got whose blessings? Lakshmana's blessings. Then Ram said, so this is very, very important. Lord will not, accept us directly. We need a person to recommend us, another Vaishnava to recommend us. I always quote this in many of our classes, that we all have bhakti in our heart. We all have bhakti. The bhakti is inside one box, and the box is locked. And the key is with some other devotee whom you don't know. You don't know who has got your key. Bhakti is in everybody's heart, in a box, and the box is locked. You have someone's key, and your key is with somebody else whom you don't know at all. How to get the key and open the box? How to get the key? Serving every devotee, because you don't know who has got the key. Unfortunately, we serve 99, fight with one, and that guy has. So big miss. He has got the key. Right? So in this case, we have to serve every single person. That's why the word says Ajata Shatru. Yudhishthira Maharaj, the first among Pandavas, he had zero enemy in his life. Because the whole loss of karma, we won't understand how Krishna is functioning, how this world is functioning. We don't know what is right and what is wrong. Right becomes wrong and wrong becomes right. So one day, Krishna and Arjuna, thick friends, good friends, and they were chit-chatting, talking, sharing things, and drove the chariot, and they lost the track of time, and the chariot went real deep inside jungle. And suddenly, Arjuna felt, hungry. So Arjuna said, oh, we came so long, there's nothing to eat over here, this place, there's no man here, what shall we do? So Krishna also said, let us search. And they searched, they found a small hermitage, a hut of an old lady. So they both went to that lady and said, can we get anything to eat? And she said, I don't have anything. But then Krishna had come to her place, she wanted to feed something, so she had only one cow. So she went to the cow, ran and milked the cow and gave 2 pots of milk to Krishna and Arjuna. And they both had the milk. The milk was so tasty. And their hunger and thirst disappeared. They were so happy. And the lady was also so happy that Krishna has come to my place, had all that. She was happy, they were happy. And Krishna, Arjuna, they were going back to the palace. And Arjuna asked, Krishna, that was a great help. What if that lady was not there? We would be starving. It's a great help. What blessings you gave her. Definitely you must have given some blessings too. What blessings you gave her. Krishna said, I blessed, let the cow die. Let that cow die. Arjuna, that's not fair. After all, she had one cow. She was such a poor lady. She was living with the help of that cow. And on top of it, she gave that milk. We drank that milk. How can you do that? That's not fair. Then Krishna said, the old lady has got only one single attachment in this world, and that is that cow. If that attachment is severe, she will go back to Vaikuntha. So was that a curse or a blessing? But initially what we thought, that was not fair, right? We don't understand the functioning of the Supreme Lord. We don't understand how the Lord functions. Right becomes wrong, wrong becomes right. We don't. That's why Krishna is called Achintya, beyond our understanding. There was one atheist farmer. Till what time I can go? 12:30. Atheistic farmer who doesn't believe in God. Nothing. And he was cultivating, pumpkins. You have pumpkins here?
Yes.
Yeah. So he was cultivating pumpkins, And you have seen that pumpkin creeper plant? A tiny creeper and big pumpkins in that, right? He was cultivating. So one day he carried everything and he's going to the market to sell. His wife told, "You are traveling a long way. Why don't you just chant and go?" And that farmer said, "One fool is more than enough at home. You are chanting enough." Such an atheistic fellow. He doesn't believe in God. Then she gave a lunch packet. He took the lunch packet and he was going to market. He was feeling hungry. Sat down under a huge banyan tree. And he opened his packet. He had his food. And was feeling a little drowsy. He lay down under the banyan tree. And he saw, you must have all seen banyan trees. Have you seen the banyan fruit? Banyan fruit? A tiny one, red color, the size of a grape. Very small. Oh, none of you have seen banyan fruit? Yeah. Tiny red color one, it's smaller than a grape. So this man lying on the floor, he thought, God must be fool only. In that tiny creeper, he has put such a big pumpkin. And in this huge banyan tree, the fruit is so small. No match at all. Imagine a thin man having a big head, how it will be. If I am God, I will put the pumpkins in banyan tree and this tiny fruit there. He was thinking, that was logic, right? Big tree, big fruit. He was logically thinking and he slept off under the tree. And there was a gentle breeze. One banyan fruit came and fell on his head. He thought, what if it was that pumpkin? So who is more intelligent? So we don't understand Lord's creation. We don't understand the phenomenon, how it works. We understand our knowledge is all limited. With this limited knowledge, we are trying to understand the unlimited God. That's impossible. That's why he is called Achintya. So, the more the person is humble, the more he is qualified to understand Krishna. And who is really humble? Who can adjust with everyone. Every single devotee without that judgmental mentality. Right? There's a people who lived around 1,000 years back in South India, famous Acharya Ramanuja. You must have all heard this name, Ramanujacharya. So one day, he was going with hundreds and hundreds of students from one town to another on a pilgrimage. In those days, they all go by foot. They walk from one town to another. So they reached a particular village, and in that village there was only two devotees. One was a very rich man, another was a beggar Brahmana. Only two devotees. But so they were looking for some place for some prasad and everything like that, Because prasadam is a very important element in Krishna consciousness. If there is no prasadam, no preaching. Nobody comes, Yeah, we have this ISKCON, International Society for Kitchen Conscious. Before we plan any program, we plan about prasadam. Anyway, so they were searching for prasadam. So there were only two people. One was a very rich landlord, two disciples. Another was a simple Brahmin. So Ramanujacharya called a junior devotee and said, you travel ahead of us. Go to the landlord and tell him that so and so people, so many devotees are coming, make some arrangement for food and accommodation. So the junior devotee ran and he went and met the landlord and said, our Gurudev Ramanujacharya is coming, his disciples are coming, so many sannyasis are coming, and that landlord became so happy. He called all the servants and all, make arrangement, make this food, prepare this, prepare that. He was like running around. And this junior devotee came back to Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya asked, did you convey the message? Yes. So what was the reaction? He was so happy. He's on his heels now. He's running around, making arrangement, preparing food, making everything. That's fine. Did he give you a cup of water? And the junior devotee said, no, he was busy. He was completely ignorant. He didn't give. That's okay. Did he give you a cup of water? The junior devotee said, no. Then we are not going there. See, it is very important. Every devotee should be served properly because we don't know who has got the key. We don't know who has got the key. We have to serve everybody. So then what happened? Ramanujacharya went to the beggar Brahmana's house. That man was begging in 4 or 5 houses. Hardly he gets anything. And he has gone to for begging also. He didn't carry his mobile phone. Only that lady was there back at home. She suddenly saw Gurudev has come. Hundreds of devotees, disciples have come. She did not know what to do. But she was supposed to serve them, give them some food. So she told Ramanujacharya, please go to the river Kaveri, the holy river. Take bath and you all come back fresh. By the time I will prepare food. And they all went, not 1 or 2, hundreds of them. You know, they all went to the river. She did not know what to do. And she's such a poor lady. Suddenly she remembered there was a grocery shop wala in that village, a shopkeeper who always had a very bad intention with this devotee lady. You have married a beggar, and what happiness do you get in life? Come with me. You will live like queen. I will give you this. Every time he used to say this lady will close her ears and leave that place. Suddenly she remembered that man. She went and told that man, my Guru has come. And so many wonderful Vaishnavas had come to my house. I don't have anything to feed them. You please give me the provisions, the materials. I want to cook for them. Tonight, I will satisfy. And that man became so happy. Out of blue she has come. Because she always closes her ears and run away. And he was so happy, he gave all the thing, and she went and she cooked and gave a wonderful feast. Ramanujacharya eating, all the devotees are eating. By the time her husband came. And he became so happy seeing Guru and all the wonderful devotees. He paid namaskar, he served everyone, and he ran inside and asked her, how do you manage all these things? Her body was trembling, voice choked, hot tears gliding down her cheek. She said exactly what has happened. She told the truth. The husband simply embraced her to his heart and said, I am blessed to get a wife like you. Then they gave food to all the gurus, Ramanujacharya served everybody, and they were taking rest. In the dead of the night, these two are leaving the house. They are going to the shopkeeper's house. They are leaving. Then Ramanujacharya got up and asked, where are you going in the dead of the night? And they both said, Gurudev, we have left one more small service is pending. We have to complete that. So Ramanujacharya gave handful of prasada and said, wherever you are going, you offer this first there. You know, use this prasada. And this lady was carrying prasad. The husband is going with her. Husband stood outside the house. She went inside. And that man was so happy. She went there and said, I'm thanking you so much for giving so much of provisions. And this is prasad, my guru gave it to you. And mentally she has thought, after this I will leave my body. I'm not going to live anymore. She is mentally decided. And she went with this prasad and gave it to that man. Man happily ate. The moment he ate prasada, a huge transformation happened in his heart. He fell at her feet and said, I'm sorry, forgive me, I beg, sorry, apologize. What a great sin I was about to commit. Please forgive me and please take me to your Guru. And she was jumping in joy. The prasada transformed. See, Ramanujacharya did not go to that landlord's house. Where did they go? To this poor man's house. So, serving Vaishnavas equally is very, very important. Every single Vaishnava is an important person. We cannot discriminate. Archaye Vishnu Shiladir Gurusu Naramatir Vaishnavera Jati Buddhi Yasyava Naraki Saha. Archaye Vishnu Shiladir. Thinking that Vishnu's deity Vigraha is stone. Archaye Vishnu Shila. Thinking it to be a Shila. Thinking it to be a stone is a sin. Gurusu Naramatir. Thinking spiritual master to be an ordinary person is a sin. Vaishnavera Jati Buddhi. He's an intelligent Vaishnava, he's a foolish Vaishnava, he's a rich Vaishnava, he's a poor. Thinking like Yasyava, Naraki Saha. They all live in hell. It is very important. There is a famous temple in Tamil Nadu, Sri Lanka. Ranganathji Mandir. Anybody been there? Ranganathji Mandir? Oh, many of you. It's a huge temple. Whole village lives inside the temple. Got 7 compound walls and gates and 24 towers. All the towers are colorfully painted. But one tower is white color. You know, if you search, if you have Google images, you can search White Gopuram Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka temple is full of Gopuras, you know, towers, Shikara, all beautifully painted, colorfully painted. But only one tower is painted in white. Everything else is colorfully painted. Got the picture, Prabhu?
It's loading. It's loading.
The images, yeah. Only one. So, it was a wonderful history. Got it? Yeah. White, yeah. Everything else is colorfully painted, that only one is white inside the temple. So it's a real thing happened during the rules of Mughals, you know, the Muslim kings. Once Muslim kings attacked this temple, you know, because every temple has got huge amount of gold and all the valuable gems and things like that, they attacked this temple. And simple Vaishnavas, devotees were there, they did not know how to fight, how to protect the temple. You know, 10,000, it's a real thing, history. 10,000 pujaris stood with the cans of hot oil, that's what they know. They boiled the oil, came with, you know, buckets of oil and tried to pour on the soldiers. Soldiers are with the swords and spear and everything. That's a bad day in history. 10,000 Vaishnavas were killed on that day by the men of Tipu Sultan. You heard this name? Yeah. By the men of 10,000 devotees were killed, and river Kaveri turned blood that day. So, one Vaishnava, what he did, he took Ranganathji's small deity, beautiful Ranganathji deity, covered in a chadar, in a cloth, and he was trying to crawl and escape from that place, protecting the deity. Then suddenly the commander saw and told the soldiers, look at him, he's the leader of these people. You kill him, he's hiding something. And they all went to catch him, to kill him. At that time, there was one Devadasi lady, a great devotee of Ranganaji. You know, in those days in India, they have this system, Devadasi system. People who go and dance in rich men's house, in king's palace, they get money. They were not appreciated. They were not respected. They were not even allowed inside the temple. She saw this. You know, that the devotees trying to hide the deity and trying to crawl in between the bodies, dead bodies. Somehow you want to save Krishna. And the soldiers saw him. And this lady did not know how to protect because he is not a soldier. She is a simple dancer. So what she did, all of a sudden in front of thousands of soldiers, she started dancing. When she danced, there was a distraction for a small second. Everybody was looking at her. You know, a slight distraction, everybody. So she wanted to hold the distraction. Now, what she did, she danced and started removing her dress. She was dancing, removing dress one by one. Now the whole army's attention is on her. And the devotee escaped with the deity. She danced and danced and danced. She was like completely naked in front of thousands of army men. And she realized there's no more life for her. But she wanted to save the devotees. She danced and danced and danced and came and caught the hand of that senior army general. And he was completely bewildered. He couldn't think properly. She just took him, gradually climbed on top of the Gopura. And he was also laughing and dancing, and she pushed him from the top. And she also jumped and committed suicide. So in memory, there are 24 towers in Ranganaji Mandir. All the 23 are beautifully, colorfully painted. This is painted in white in memory of that great sacrifice. So Krishna says, Naham vasami Vaikuntha. I am not in Vaikuntha. Na yoginam hrudaye rava. I don't live in yogi's heart. Madbhakta yatra gayanti tatra tishtami narada. Wherever my devotees are chanting my names, I live with them. I live with them. So, that's why Bhagavatam and scripture says, devotees are more important than the Lord Himself. You hurt the Lord, Lord will take it positively. But you hurt a devotee, Lord will never take it. Because we sit in front of Him and what we sing? Makana chora, navanita chora. Chora means what? Thief. You sit in front of Him. Is it a glorification? Is it a glorification or insult? You know, you call him Partha Sarathi. Partha Sarathi means what? Right? Yeah, driver. Is it glorification? Gopi Vasanahara. One who took away the garments of young girls. Is it a nice thing to say? We sit in front of him and we do all that bhajan. Thief, driver. And he said, oh my devotee are chanting me, let me bless them. You do whatever towards Krishna. Krishna will not care. But when we hurt devotees, that becomes another thing. So it's very important we learn the art of being with Vaishnavas. Because like for example, Matajis are cooking in kitchen. Right? As per Bhagavad Gita, how many bodies we have? As per Bhagavad Gita, how many bodies we have? Three.
Spiritual, subtle,
Gross and so gross and subtle. Earth, water, fire, air, ether makes one gross body. Mind, ego, intelligence makes the subtle body. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Out of these two bodies, which body is more important? Gross or subtle? Subtle body is more important. Gross body, any damage you can continue, right? Now, a Mataji is cooking in the kitchen. Mataji fought with that Mataji. It happens in it's some kind of a misunderstanding. Now, Mataji is making halwa in the kitchen, right? So she's making halwa for Krishna, and she's thinking, yesterday, no, she really behaved badly. Next time, I'm not going to be like this. I'm going to react. So she's producing two things. One is physically halwa, and second thing, something else is cooking up, right? And we go and take and give this halwa to Krishna. You know, now what does the shloka say? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome out of bhakti. Bhaktya prayachati. And what does Krishna accept? Tadaham bhakti upahritam. He is not taking your fruit and flower. Luckily, he gives the halwa back completely. Imagine every day you take an offer and he eats off everything. I am sure devotees will stop offering. You know, you make nice things and he eats off. That's all. Then what we will do? Something good we will keep that back. But luckily, what does Krishna take? Tad aham bhakti upahritam. Now Mataji had made halwa, and in that halwa, what she has added? What she has cooked? The negative thoughts. Now Krishna is going to take what?
Negative thoughts.
The negative thoughts. They will get separated from him. So it's very important because our whole organization is based on consciousness. That's a problem. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So what you cook here is more important than what you cook here. Right? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions, any comments? No questions? Yeah.
So if the intention is not to commit an offense, but the devotee takes it as an offense, and we don't even know that they're upset with us, how to understand the situation? Will we get a
You have
reaction?
not committed an offense, and
Unknowingly, I did not commit.
Unknowingly.
But unknowingly it was done.
That
And
happens.
devotee-
so that will also definitely affect. What will happen is, next 1 week you will lose the taste of chanting Hare Krishna. When I unknowingly hurt someone, and next day morning I get up and try to chant, you feel like, I don't feel like chanting. It's forceful. You don't get a taste, then you should understand unknowingly you have hurted somebody. And easy way to get out of this unknown mistakes and all is like, you call that person, give them prasad. Small things will. That's why prasada distribution and receiving, this beautiful exchange of love is very important. Where this tiny, small offenses get, cleared off. Small things happen, right? But when they come and serve you prasad, you also forget everything. So small mistakes can be easily cleared by serving prasadam and taking prasadam. Yeah.
Coming out something from the mouth, like Sita Devi didn't mean that, but because she was really one thought Brahman, therefore she. So sometime in the family, something I don't mean, but I have to tell to make them do what that is said. Then what would happen?
Even though Sita, repeat the question. Okay. Sometimes Mataji is asking, I don't mean, but I have to do. It's like Sita Devi, she didn't mean, but what she said was very heavy. Lakshmana felt very bad. Ramayana says he walked like a dead man. He lost, he was shattered. His heart was bleeding. So a baby cannot claim, a small 1-year-old baby. She goes and puts her finger in a candle. Will the candle think, oh, just a crawling baby, I should not burn him? It will definitely burn. So offense, especially hurting people, Whether we do it knowingly or unknowingly, punishment is going to be there. So what we can do is, you can use force. Suppose you want to say something to your family members, you don't necessarily, it's not required to hurt them. You can speak with a force, you can, even raise the voice a little bit and all that. But then not necessarily hurt them. Like olden days, in India, they used to take the chariots, drive the chariot. There will be horses and the charioteer. The charioteer will not beat the horses, but with the whip, he will make noise up in the sky. You have seen that whip? Yeah, what do you call it in Bengali? You know that whip, right?
Chabu.
Chabu. Ah, yeah. So with the chabu, they make noise. You have seen? It will make noise, but they not necessarily they beat the bull or horse. Just make a noise, and they get scared. So you can make a noise, don't beat them. Don't beat them. So hurting is something dangerous. I saved you, bro. Yes, Roji.
So, I mean, on the same context, thank you for the wonderful.
Your wife is here in the program? Depends on that, answers will change. Yeah.
So, on a practical ground, we often have our intentions are good,
Yeah.
but our action may not be in sync with the intention, right? But when we perform that action may result in disruption between devotees.
Yeah.
And so on a practical ground, how do we address that?
Yes,
because
very good question. In previous yugas, even if intentions are bad, it is considered to be sin. In Satya Yuga, intention also should be good, action also should be good. But luckily in Kali Yuga, what you think doesn't matter. Only action matters, right? Thank God, because whatever inside every single mind, sometimes wives think, why don't this man just die? Luckily, so there is no sin for the thoughts, no sin, but action is counted in Kali Yuga, right? So even though if the intention is good and action is bad, only actions are counted. So we have to be very careful with the action. Intention, whether right or wrong, doesn't matter. But anyway, intentions will influence the action. But in Kali Yuga, action has to be very, very good. That's why they say in Upanishad, the mind is psychology. When you fight, when you argue, whatever comes first in your mind, don't say that. Whatever comes second in your mind, don't say that. Third is okay. Because the moment we fight, it flares up. The first thing it comes is completely demoniac. Don't say it out. Whatever happens. Then slowly we can say that. Yeah.
Thank you. Can I ask one more?
Yes.
So, that's a very good explanation. So, thank you for that. So, if we are often getting hurt by devotees, continuously, right? I mean, we are trying our best, tolerating.
Yeah.
But at what point, until what point do we actually tolerate?
Is that other person hurting you, or you think he is hurting you?
If the other person is hurting.
Really hurt.
I'm not saying as me. I'm asking.
Generally, yeah. So, if this person is really hurt, sometimes our mind also plays a complicated stuff. Unnecessarily, it will cook up a story and things like that. But in reality, if he's hurting again and again, you can go and try explain to him, have an open conversation with him. Still, if he is not able to understand and all, you can maintain a little distance. After time is the greatest healer. After a sufficient amount of time, you can come back. You can keep a distance from that person, not from satsang, not from ISKCON, not from program. Because this crazy mind, the first decision it takes is, I am not going for the glories. As though Krishna did something. Actually, Bhagwan, Krishna is struggling very hard. You give him 2 bananas in the morning. Now 24 hours he is supposed to protect you. Who is doing a bigger task? He just gave them. Today Mataji gave Karela. Now he has to protect her family for 24 hours. So who is doing a bigger task? So he has to protect us. Right? So he is doing a bigger task. So you can maintain some distance sometimes with a particular devotee, not with the organization of program. Thank you. Yes,
So it's a wonderful classroom, thank you. So you talked about the intent, but 5 minutes before you said that Mataji's mind was cooking negative, and then Krishna. So still that intent and mind is still more important than the action, right?
Because definitely intention will influence the action. Krishna is bhavagrahi janata. But then, see, I'm thinking something very bad in my mind. It is not counted in sin, but it's counted in offense. Sin it is not. Anyway, better to be careful. Like sometimes people ask me, on Ekadashi can I take this or that? That seed is not there. Better eat fruits from or better fast. Like that. So intention should be very good. Rituals should be very good. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
His Grace Sakshi Prabhu ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna deities. We'll put the mats aside. We'll put the chairs back. Going who will lead the kids. Let's put them